This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so here we saw Il s'appelle Alex. It's how do you call a third person? That is, he calls himself Alex, and some vocabulary. But yeah, if you have observed here, you'd say son père travaille dans une entreprise française. So when you say his father works in a French enterprise, here the French word is coming before the enterprise. But always it's reversed in French. You always say son père travaille dans une entreprise française. Son nom et son adresse. His name and address. And même lycée is the word here which is the same school. Chinois is Chinese, samedi, vacances, travail, regarde, jamais, and demain. Demain is tomorrow. So all this we saw yesterday, and then some terms for comparative, superlative, and affirmative. Today we'll look at some of the questions, some basic questions. So first thing is, before you answer any question, you need to understand the question. Now that you know what is, how do you call what, how do you call who, how do you call when, how do you call how much, all of these terms you know. So now we look at some of the sentences, some of the questions, and how do you respond to them. So the first one here is, qu'est-ce que vous faites dans la vie? Here it is, qu'est-ce que is what. Whenever you're asking a question, try to always keep it at vous, because uh, what happens here is you don't use tu. Tu fais dans la vie is what do you do? Dans is in the life. La vie is life. It's feminine. So the question here is, what do you do in your life? That is a very kind of a very direct question, but in English you would translate that as, what do you do for living? So you don't literally translate from English to French. So what happens is, when the reason I told you not to use Google is, when you put this sentence, what do you do for living? It will not give you this question, which is this, but it will give you literal translation. So fait is to do. The verb is faire. It's a er ending verb. We'll do that. Faire is a er ending verb. That means to do. So the verb is conjugated here. It means, what do you do? Okay. And the next answers could be, je suis, I am a professor, I am advocate, I am a student, I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am a nurse, I am a homemaker, or I manage home affairs. There are lots of different answers that you can give. So here, remember, the question is, qu'est-ce que vous faites dans la vie? Qu'est-ce que vous faites dans la vie? The next one is, qu'est-ce que vous faites votre étude? So here, if you see, it is what, where do you, here it is où and not que. Okay, so where do you work your studies, do your studies? Faire is to do, where, où is where, sorry, spelling error. Where is où? So where is that you work on your studies? Was, here if you see, it's an adjective possessive. For third person, second person, formal, adjective, possessive. You have votre and was. If it is a plural form, you use was. Qu'est-ce où est-ce que vous faites vos études? That means where is that you work on your studies?
Rahul, sorry to interrupt. You
Yeah.
said it was is adjective possessive.
Yes.
How do we say it's an adjective possessive? Is it because you study? I mean, it possesses someone, some ex person, you.
It's your, not you. Who is you? Who is a you here? But
Okay.
when you say your studies, then it will become was etude because it's a plural form.
Okay. No, I'm not getting it. Sorry.
So you check the sentence, it says who, est-ce que,
Okay.
who, I've highlighted it, who, est-ce que, where is that, you, you, where is to do. So you do your studies. So it's not like a direct question which is written here. Where do you study? So the literal question here is where is that you do your studies? Okay, where is that you do your studies? So je vais is I go to the University of Michigan. Je vais à la université. If you check here, university is feminine ending with e. That why it is a and la, but not au. Au will come only in case of a masculine. That's a contracted article. So that means to the. So here it is, since it is feminine, à la Université de Michigan is I go to the University of Michigan. And the next answer could be Je vais mes études à la Université de Toronto is I do my studies. Or you say I go to university to study, or then the other answer could be I do my studies, or I here it is the verb is faire again. This is the verb faire. I do mes études. Here now you see was becomes mes, because here in the question whenever you ask what is your name, so you would say my name is. So was becomes me, mes. So je fais mes études à la Université de Toronto. That is same. Okay. So there are two different ways. I go or I do my studies. The next one question is est-ce que qu'est-ce que vous étudiez? What do you study? Qu'est-ce que vous étudiez? Is what do you study? What is that? Literally it means this. What que is that you study? That means what do you study? Right? So the answer could be j'ai étude arts, j'ai étude informatique, j'ai étude médecin, j'ai étude uh, métier. Métier is business studies. Je étude a lot of things are there. Arts, grammar, poetry, and like lots of them. So you can give any of those answers. So the next métier is like this here. Quel métier étudiez-vous? What subjects do you study? Métier is like the subjects also, and here in this question it says quel métier étudiez-vous? It is in the reverse form. Quel qu'est-ce que is also what, and when you do a quel, that is also what. But here what he has done is he has reversed the order of vous étude became étudiez-vous, is what is that you study. Okay, what is that you study? Okay, and the answers will be based on your subjects. So here métier actually means material or a topic or a subject. So literal translation would be material. What type of material or do you study? So the question now, the answer would be I study, j'étudie la langue étrangère et le linguistique. I study foreign languages because it's a plural form, and linguistics. Actually, there shouldn't be a S here. Linguistic, it's a singular form. Or you would say je fais des études. I do, je fais des mathématiques. That is, I study or I do mathematics. Or you would say my specialization est la biologie. Yes, my specialization is biology. So if you closely observe here in English and French, the main words like biology, professor, advocate, mathematics, linguistic, languages, these are words which are already there in your existing English language. So you just need to know the rule to frame a sentence. I hope you are like kind of realizing that by now, that it is not that difficult to remember such words.
Rahul, why we put DES with the mathematics?
You tell me that.
The,
Anyone can tell me
ma-
why it is
it's
DES?
plural form, but it's LES. No, why DES?
Yeah. Can anyone else tell me why it is DES and not LES? If no one can, I'll tell it. Anyone knows the difference? Yes or no?
That day you taught no, we go to toilet, so DE plus something. No, that is this one rule.
The and plural.
Preposition. Yeah, A
Yeah.
plus plural forms.
I'll tell. Wait a second, and let me just check with everyone. No, the and plural. The and plural. The is la, la. Amrin, this is for you. La. These are all the, and this is the plural form of the. No. The plus lays is not the. Sashina. La plus lays is not the. La and lay are both are the only. Yes, I
Sorry,
got a.
it's DE plus LES.
Yeah, yeah. I think the correct answer has come from Nidhi. That is a indefinite article. Indefinite articles are and these. That is a mathematics, or if it's a plural form, it is these mathematics. I study of the mathematics, or I study the mathematics. It's not the here. It is the indefinite articles. A and an. It is these mathematics. Okay, it's a plural form, but it's a indefinite article here, not a definite articles. La, la, and lays are definite. Days is an indefinite article. Okay, I think it's
So
clear now.
can we talk like that? I study the mathematics, so can we use LES?
That will be the mathematics. How would you study the mathematics? So the sentence framing in English also is wrong. So it is this mathematics. Je fais des mathematics. Je fais des uh, the other term, that is biology. with the S. If it is not biology, biology is the single subject. But you will say science. Je fais des sciences. Is I do the study of science. Okay. Okay or not? Just quick yes or no. If not, I'll spend more time here and then tell you, because I see like most of you didn't get it. What is qua and kel, right? How is it kel apostrophe? Okay. We have a question here why it is kel and not ka. So first of all, qua, QUOI, is what? Kel is also what, but kel takes a different forms. That is kel for a plural, kel for a masculine, feminine, sorry, and then you have a feminine plural. So the kel takes 4 forms depending on masculine, feminine, singular, and plural. Okay. So as I told you before, if you're using this format, if everyone see my screen, if you're using this format, this is actually key. It is like this. Key étude. What is that you study? But since there is a collision of vowel, it became a single word. And now all of this word is qu'est-ce, what you study. What? So literally it means what is that? What is that you study? Here it is already reversed. Esker. You getting this? Generally you write it this way. What that is you study. We have reversed that and it became this. That is what is that you study. So there you're using what, but in the second case you're not. You're changing this term. That is étudiez-vous. What subjects study you? Here you have reversed the order. There are 2 different ways. That's why we're like looking at all the ways of asking a question. What subjects study you? It's a reverse form. So in this case, you would not use this. You would only use kel, but that depends on the subject here. That is, it's a feminine and a plural. So here also it is feminine and a plural. Kel, QUELLES, kels. That is a feminine plural. HUDAVU is a reverse form. Okay. Yes or no? Okay. So more specialization is also same. More is my specialization. La biology is my major or my specialization is biology. All of these technical terms are mostly the same because these are relatively new terms which has come up. Biology, mathematics, all of them are either taken from English or Hindi or a Greek civilization that every other civilization has blindly followed. So all of these technical words, professions are mostly the same. Okay, apart from some professions which were like there before, like those basic professions are a little different, but all these advanced professions which came up later on are mostly the same. They use the same spelling for biology, mathematics, advocate, professor, all this stuff. Okay, so here is some good. Let me quickly this. Yeah, so these are different terms. Yep, it is. Devont is. We'll start from here. You can look at my pointer. Devont is before. If you want to make a note, you can. Devont is before. The last is derriere. We are doing like opposites. Devant is before. Derriere is after or in the behind. Devant is before. Derriere is after or in the last or behind. À gauche is on the right. To the right, actually, it means to the right. À gauche. À gauche. À droite here is on the right, on the left, sorry. Okay. And this is sure is on the top. Sure, we have already seen this. Sure is on the top. Shoes is in the bottom. Shoes is in the bottom. Here, a côté de is near to or besides. A côté de, besides. And this one here is loin de is far. He is far off. Loin de, far off. Loin is far, de is off. So it is far off. Far off. And au centre de will be in center of. O is at the, it's a contracted article, center of, at the center of. So this is, if this is the reference point, the cheese, he is in the center of, he is on the top, sure, he is shoes below. Did we do this? Autour de is around. Autour de is around. Droite is right. À gauche is left. Côté de is around. Devant is front. See, this is starting with D, so it is devant, and the opposite is derriere. On the top it is sure, S, starting with S. Below is also starting with S, shoes. Okay. À côté de is besides. Loin de is far off. Autour de is around. And what else is remaining? Au centre de is in the center of. Any doubts? So these are the terms that you use in terms of direction. So in the exam, mostly in TEF, you have one question which is there on directions. Megha says no. Acha, you're saying no doubt. Okay, good. So in the exam, you have a question which is based on direction, as in IELTS. You will have a question which you will have to listen to the audio, and he will say the library is around the church. So there will be church marked there. The next building next to that will be a library. So this is really important. Okay. We'll move on. Yeah, adjectives. Now I think we have discussed this. In case of an adjective, here adjectives also to change the name according to the person or the possessor. So if I would say I am Indian because I am male, I would say I am Indian. But when all of you, because you are all females, you would say je suis and the end. That is, you can't hear me? A quick check. If anyone is unable to hear me, quickly type in yes or no. I can, thank you. Others? Yes. Okay. I think most of you can. So just check with your internet connection or just refresh it. You'll get it. Yeah. So here, the adjectives here is they change according to the person. So if you say I am Indian because I am masculine, I would use without the NE, but you would add a NE. That's for nationalities. But also when I say I am tall, I would say je suis grand, but you would say je suis grand with the E. Okay. So these are some of the adjectives that have the two different forms. The first one is petite without a E, but if it's a feminine, you would say with an E. Okay. The next one is jolie. Jolie is a jolly or a lively person. If it's a female, it is joey. So here, if you see, the I and E, the T is written because the pronunciation ends at I. So it is petite. Here it is petite with a T. Jolie, here it is joey, jolie, same. Spacious, spacious. A very slight difference is coming at the end. Okay. Ensoleil and ensoleil. That is charming. Like soleil is actually sun. So ensoleil is you would say a charming person. Ensoleil. And for feminine, it is you had to add an extra E. You have to add an extra E. Agreeable, agreeable. Both are ending with E, no problem. Sympathetic, sympathetic, no problem. Special is without a E. Special is with the E. There's no E in masculine, but there is an E in feminine. Okay, laid and laid. This actually means laid is ugly. Yeah, ugly. Laid and laid. It is a masculine and a feminine with an E. Optional and optional is with you add an extra E there. L and E. So we have seen this in one more place. I'm not getting. We have seen this before. I'm not getting that term. But here remember optional and with if it's ending with L, it is it's ending with a double L and a E. Optional. Optional. Decorative, it is ending with F. Here it is ending with VE because you have to end with E. You cannot add a E to F. So you change it to VE. Decorative, decorative. Both of them sound same. And the last one is bon and bon. Bon voyage, bonjour is bon. Bonne journée is a feminine form. Bon après-midi is a good afternoon. Okay, these are some small topics that I think it's there in the book also. I hope all of you are like, going through the book, doing some exercises on daily basis. Yes or no? because I think we have already completed the chapter 1 in that, unit 1, and unit 2, some topics we have done. So I think you should be able to complete that. And again, now Aisha will have a question as in what about the audio? I am working on it today. Most probably I've separated the audios in different files like section 1, section 2 and all. So it's a what do you call it? It's a zip file. I'll send it across to you today. So you can also get started with the oral part. And if you just print that book, make a spiral binding, and if you check after unit 1, you have exactly the 4 sections, that is the comprehension oral, the comprehension écrite, the expression oral, and the expression écrite, that is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And you have small test in that. So you answer them. I have already sent the corrected version also for you. The answers for all those questions. So I think you have both. So just get it, both of them photocopied or a printout or a xerox, and then get it spiral bind so that you can put the answer sheets answers in the last, and when you do it, you can cross check all the time with the answers in the last. Okay. So here are some more terms. We'll quickly go through this. Is quand, te spérons, parlons-ils en vacances? Is quand is when. Quand is when. Quand is when. Tes parents is your parents have spoke, or parlons-ils is they have reversed it. Have spoke. They spoke have become spoke in an interrogative way. Have they spoke of vacations? We have already seen this. We just reverse the order of il parlons becomes parlons-ils en vacances. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake here. It is not parlons, it is partir. I just overlooked it. It's not parler. It's not the verb parler. It is partir verb. It's a ir ending verb. I just missed that L and the T. So the question here is quand tes parents is when your parents, parlons-ils because are leaving. Partir is to leave. So are they leaving for vacations? En vacances is for vacations. So when are your parents leaving for vacations? The verb parler is different. Here, partir is different. That's er ending verb. This is an ir ending verb, and this is t. That is l. Okay. Pourquoi est-ce que vous êtes ici? Pourquoi is why. Pourquoi is why. The next question. Est-ce que is that. We have seen this before. Vous êtes ici. Now, ici, Aisha, can you tell me what is ici? Ici. We did. Aisha left, I think. So maybe some issue. Ici is ICI. Ici is here. Yes, perfect. Ici is here, and la with a accent is there. A forward slash. Sorry, a backward slash. La with a backward slash is there. So here and there. Your parents are standing there. Their parents are standing here. So ici and la. Now we have seen already the quel part, so I need not go through the second one, the fifth point again. Quel, and quel, all of them means what or which, and it should agree with the person, and that's why it is quel et le date. The date is feminine, so it is quel. Quelle heure partirez-vous is again it's here the second question. At what time? À quelle heure? A is there before the quel, so it is at what time. Quelle heure is time, or at what hours. Partirez-vous is do you leave. Quel bagage? It's quel bagage est-ce que vous prenez? Prendre is to take. Prawns, actually, the verb is prawns. We'll look at that exceptional verb. Quel bagage est-ce que vous prenez is what bags are you taking? So it's quel bonjour, bonjour is what good day it is. What a beautiful day. Quelle belle journée. Both of them means a beautiful day. Jour is a day. Journée is also a day. So the expression here is quel beau jour or quelle belle journée. What a beautiful day. In the negative, it is you either use something like this. That is tu ne travailles pas. You don't work. Est-ce que tu ne travailles pas is est-ce is again an interrogative form. Is that you don't work? Or ne travaille pas, ne travailles-tu pas is don't you work? And pourquoi, this is actually a past tense. Pourquoi tu n'es-tu pas travaillé? That is a passé composé, that is past tense. So leave the last one. So these are the different ways. In a negative sentence, you can make interrogative sentence. A negative sentence in an interrogative, like I do, I don't, or don't you work hard? It's an interrogative sentence, but it's a negative interrogative. Do you speak? Don't you speak? It's a negative and interrogative. Don't you speak French? Okay. Yeah, this is another topic, the speaking form and the literal writing form. So if you closely observe here, we are not using a lot of times when we write, the est-ce form comes into picture. But apart from that, we don't use while speaking the est-ce anywhere here. You see, all of these are spoken form and you don't use est-ce here. So when you say parlez-vous français is basically when you speak, you just ask, vous parlez français? So the tone in which we speak is a interrogative form. You can identify that. So when you write, you will definitely have to write parlez-vous français. That is, do you speak French? It's a written form. But when I say in a oral form, I would say vous parlez français? You speak French? So even in English, what I'm doing is you speak French, and it's an open-ended question. That means it's a interrogative question. I think it's making sense for you, or are you able to understand it? I'm not too sure.
Rahul, is it
Yeah.
wrong if we speak how it is written? Like if we speak like parlez-vous français, if we
Yes, you can, but that will be like you're following the rule book. But if someone asks you, he will definitely not ask is parlez-vous français. He'll just ask, vous parlez français? So you will have to get the tone right. You need to understand that. So if you want to do it the way French do, you will have to follow the rule. But you can always use this, but it will be like they will take a little time to understand. So in the speaking section, you will not be getting good points if you use the written form. So you're just following the rule book, but you have to go with the flow. That has to come naturally. So that when naturally means it is when you say vous parlez français. Like in Hindi, for example, if I say क्या आप हिंदी बात करते हो, that is like a proper way of saying a question in pronunciation part. But when I say in like a regular way, I would say हिंदी आती है, हिंदी बात करते हो, हिंदी जानते हो. They're like different ways. So if I say it like the rule book, जैसे what you have that in a book, then you would say something like this: क्या आप हिंदी बात करते हो? क्या आप हिंदी समझते हो? क्या आप it will be like you are asking a very straightforward question. So that will get you A1, A2, B1, but not definitely not B2, because intermediate level is you also get used to their way of speaking. That's why we are discussing this topic. If not, I would have not discussed only. So the next question will, when you see all of this, it will be easy. Is comma. This is again past tense. This is past tense. Yeah, we'll see the fourth question. That is the qua is of, qua is what, of what they speak. What are they speaking? The quoi parlant till is the quoi parlant till, of what are they speaking? They speaking. And the next part is of what is that they speak. All of them, they means what are they talking about or what are they speaking. Okay, so of what is the qua. Parlant till, we are reversing the order, but here when you speak you would say the quoi il parlant. What are they speaking about? Something like this. The quoi est-ce qu'il parlant, est-ce qu'il parlant. This is becoming one word, so it is est-ce qu'il parlant. De quoi est-ce qu'il parlant? Of what is that they are speaking? The literal translation is. But in spoken, you would say ils parlant de quoi? They're speaking of what? They're speaking of what? The next question is pourquoi me regardes-tu? Is pourquoi is why, me is me, regardes-tu is see, you see. Why do you see me? Why do you look at me? And the other way is est-ce que, pourquoi est-ce que tu me regardes? Pourquoi is why. Why is that you're looking at me? The second one. You can use this in English also, like in the spoken spoken also in English. Pourquoi is why. Why is that you're looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Both are like questions. In English, they mean the same. Same in French. There are different ways of putting a question. But when you speak, when you're practically speaking, you would say pourquoi tu me regardes? Is why. Tu me regardes is you see me. Why are you looking at me? Look and see are same here. It's just that look is uh, is more with attention. See is you don't put a lot of attention. See those lovely flowers, so you just casually see. Look at that bird. If I say, you would pay attention and see towards that bird. Look at the presentation means you would have to look with focus. See is casually see that bird or see that flower, see that beautiful scenery, or see it's raining. So you casually look. So that's the difference between look and see. Same here. You can use both, but depending on the situation, you would say you look or you see. So when I said, yeah, I shall back. Yeah. And the last one is also in past tense. So I don't know, it will be too much for you to understand that. So we'll skip that when we do the past tense part, which is coming, I think, at the end of this presentation or next presentation. So we'll look at those. Now the pronouns. Can anyone tell me what is a pronoun? Can you quickly type in pronoun? What is a pronoun? The definition. Yes, I think most of you know. Words which we use for a noun. Words used instead of a noun. Yes. I think others are also clear with this definition. They agree with the definition. We use nouns, but when you repeat the nouns, instead of repeating the noun in a sentence, you would say, I use a pronoun instead of a noun. Suppose you're writing on a tiger, an essay on a tiger. You would say, tiger is a king of the jungle. And the next sentence that you frame, you would not use the word tiger again. You would say, like, this is not ideal actually. So tiger is the king of the jungle. Tiger hunts for his food. Tiger lives in a group. Tiger has 4 legs. Tiger has 2 palms with which he hunts. You know, don't use that way. Everywhere once you use a noun, next time you use he or she, depending on situation. You would say he. That is for third person. Now, when you say I, suppose I want you to give your introduction, you would say, hi, I am Rahul. This is Rahul's house. This is Rahul's father. This is Rahul's mother. You would not use Rahul everywhere. Instead of that, you would use a noun, pronoun. Can you quickly do a mic check if my voice is here audible to you? Yes, one yes. Because Aisha can't hear, so yes, I think Aisha, all of them can hear. You will have to do some troubleshooting. Just check if you are by mistake muted the speakers. And if you're using earphone, make sure it is properly connected. Okay. And if you still have problem, I suggest you restart your system. Okay. I think that means you're getting the voice. If you say okay, means you're getting the voice. Yes or no? Okay. Just quickly restart your system and like join again. Yeah. So no pronouns. Sorry, pronouns are used instead of a noun. Example here is the example here is tu prends l'avion. Is you take the plane. So the word here plane is avion. I think all of you can relate with it because when you say the industry, you would say the aviation industry. Now, how aviation word is coming? It is coming from the word avion, and avion is a plane. So the plane industry is called the aviation industry. Aviation. So the ava is coming from this word plane. So now you would say, yes, French have copied the English word. No, definitely that's not the case. It's the English people that have taken words from French. So if you go to dictionary and type in aviation, you would see next to that is the French origin. It's in a proper dictionary, you would see that. So all of these words are actually taken from French into English. Since you have learned English before, now it's like you're thinking French have taken words from English. Okay, so aviation is, now you know what is a plane. Whenever I'll say about plane, now you will have to quickly check what is it was something av. Now you know aviation. Now you would come to the word that as avion. It's le avion. Tu prends l'avion, you take the aeroplane, and then if you replace the noun that is the plane here, you would say je le prends, is I take it. When are you taking the plane? So you would say I am taking it at 11 o'clock. You're not saying again I am taking the plane at 11 o'clock. You're saying I take the plane, I take it at 11 o'clock. So for similarly, that now depending on the person, here you have ma, ta, la, and la, nu, wu, and lace. Okay. Okay. Yes or no? Ma, ta, la, la, nu, wu, lace. Okay. Now many of you will have question, that is la and la are the, lace is the plural form. Nu and nu are what? They are used in uh, pronominal verbs. So how do you identify now? So that we'll look at now, the difference between, like when I say la la and this la la, which is not same. Let me put it. La la is not same to this la la. Okay, I'll tell you how with an example. Don't worry, I know you will have this doubt. So we look at the first one is je le mange. Je le mange. So here, remember, the first and the most important thing here is the pronouns, they come before the verb. So when I say I eat it, so what's the pronoun here in English? I eat it. What is the pronoun? What is the verb? Amrin. What is the pronoun, please? Yeah. What is I then? No. No, 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 no. Okay, let me do it this way. Where is no coming from, Sashina? Okay, let me give you an example. I eat mango. So now tell me, what is an I here? I is a personal pronoun. Yes, I is also a pronoun, but here instead of my name, I'm using I. Okay. Yes, most of you are correct that Rahul eat mango. Let us do it this way. So this is the sentence. Okay. Rahul eats mango. Now I am replacing the first personal pronoun, that is Rahul, with either I, he, yeah, there can only be two cases, or you. So if I am myself, if I am writing myself, I would use I. If you are writing on behalf of me, uh, no, when you're writing about me, you would say he. And when you're telling me, you would say you. So it's a two-way communication. I know, I hope you know this. I, you, and he. So Rahul will take three form. You would say I eat mango, or he eats mangoes or mango, or you eat mango. Depending on the situation, we can have three of these pronouns, personal pronoun, right? You either say I, you either say he, or you either say you. In all of these cases, I, he, and you represents who? I, he, and you represents Rahul. Yes, perfect. That is a personal pronoun. So now we are not talking about that here, and we will take it as ill. Ill is he. He eats or eat mango. So now in this case, what is a noun? What is a noun here? A proper noun. One mango, like All of you, can you quickly, because this is really important. I need to understand where, why he. Okay, there is a lot of confusion here. Sashina, your answer, please. I want to know your answer also. Yes, Sashina and Amreen and Megha are correct. Nidhi, he is already a pronoun. I'm asking you what is a noun here. He is a pronoun actually. He you're using instead of Rahul. So in this sentence, il eat. Sorry, I've used half English, half French. Il is he. He eats mango or he eat mango. In this sentence, what is a noun? Is a mango. Aisha, are you getting it? I think Nidhi got it. If you, in this sentence, I'm asking. In this sentence, he eats mango. A proper noun is mango. Yes or no, Aisha? Yes. Okay. So in this sentence, I think all of you got it right. Only Nidhi and Aisha had little confusion. So I think that is cleared now. So in this sentence, il, yes. Okay. Sorry, Aisha, no problem. He eats mango. Here there is a proper noun, that is a mango. Now we replace that with a pronoun. Okay. So I would say he eats it, right? Yes or no? Now it is what? It's a pronoun here that we are using instead of a mango. Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Now you got it correct. So now in French, what will happen is I would write it in this way. That is, okay, sorry. He, it, eat. He, it, eat. That in French is equal, in English it is equivalent to he, eat it. Now here the pronoun, which is the mango ka pronoun, is the pronoun is coming before the verb. So the sentence here becomes il le mange. You see the first sentence, or I eat it or he eat it. Now we are discussing he. So it is il le mange, that is he ate it. But when I say he eats the mango, the sentence will be il mange le mangue. Mong, Mong, M-A-N-G-A-U-E or M-A-N-G-A-U. I don't know what mango is. Let me check. Yeah, G-U-E it is. So it is la. So this will be the sentence. Yeah. So here the sentence is he eats the monk. Monk is mango. Since it is ending with E, it is it's what? It's a la here. Yes, it's a feminine. So now you see the difference between the ill here. Sorry, let me write it here again. And il mange. So if you see here, when le, la, or lays, l apostrophe is coming before the verb, that means that is a pronoun. Le, la, lays when it is coming before the verb. So here, look at these two sentences. I'll write it again so that both of them are in one place. Both of them are in one place. The first one, the translation is he eat it, and the second one is he eats the mango. So now if you closely observe the la and la, le, le and la, one is coming before the verb. Usage of la, la here depends on feminine or masculine word, right? Yes, yes, Amrin. It could be la also here. Il mange. So he ate it. Depends on what we are discussing. So here, if it is, let's keep it la. So it will be il le mange and il mange le mange. So the first sentence, il le mange, is he eat it. Here la, the word la is a pronoun. And the word in this la is, in this sentence, the la is an article. So how do you identify is based on the position. Now if you see monk is mango, you know the la is coming after the verb and before a noun, a proper noun, then it is an article. If it is coming before the verb, in this case, il la mange, sorry. So here la is a pronoun and it is not an article. So in that case, it is translated as it, it, because it is a third person. Okay. It, he or she, or depending on situation. So we'll see one more example, the second one. The first one we have seen, je le mange is I eat it, and the second one is il le voit, voit. Voit is actually a ir ending verb that means to see. So just now I told you the difference between regarder and voir. Regarder is to look, voir is to see. So just now I told you the difference, voir and regarder and voir. Regarder is to look, voir is to see. It's a ir ending verb. So the sentence here is il le voit, that is he sees her. La becomes her. If it is le, it becomes he. So il le voit will become he sees him. Il le voit, il la voit. Okay. And the next sentence is, I think, a very famous sentence. Je te aime. Aim is to like or to love. So it is I like you, or I love you. So here you is a pronoun that is coming before the verb, and since it is you which is informal, we are using this tu here. If you see my screen, tu, that is, sorry, the. So since the verb is starting with a vowel, te is becoming t apostrophe. So it is je te aime. And the next sentence is tu m'aimes, you love me. Tu m'aimes is you, and me. M apostrophe is me. You love me. Okay, so now can you guys help me do this sentence? It's a er ending verb. Love is aimer. The verb is aimer, to love. And now can you do the translation for We love you. Anyone? What is we? Yes. What will be the love conjugation for the verb aime in no form? Amreen, you are near but not correct. It is nu amo. It's a er ending verb, but for nu, you will have to add ons. It is nu amo. Yes, Amreen, technically this is correct, but if you check, the pronoun comes before the noun. So it would be, yeah, Nidhi, yes, you are correct, but why there is an L apostrophe there? A new tula emo. Did you Google it by any chance, Nidhi? No, no, okay. So the sentence here is we love you. Yeah, Amreen, now you're, it's actually M-O-N-S. Sajina, you also M-O-N-S it is. So I'll do it for you. Just pay attention here. When it is we love you, first thing is you have to identify what is we. We is no. Yes, that's perfect. We are correct. And now what is love? Love is emir. The verb is emir. Sorry, A-I-M-E-R. Okay. So now we have to conjugate for no. That is we love. So that will be nous aimons. And now what is you? So now it will be nous aimons. It could be both the or who. In both the cases, it is correct. If you, this is correct actually. So now you have to remember that in French, it is we love you will change to we you love. The pronoun comes before the verb. So it will be tu, nous, te aimons, or nous, vous aimons. Okay? Both are correct depending on situation. When you say to a professor, you would use you, sorry, who. But when you're saying it to kids, you would say tu, the, te. Are you okay with this? Yes or no? Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, Amreen. Thank you, Megha. Thank you. Thank you, Sachin. So I hope now this is clear. Can you now quickly give me another sentence that is they love us? Can you first tell me what is they? Amreen, the sentence is wrong. It's half correct. So just check what is wrong. I will not tell you what is wrong. You have to identify it. What is they? They. What is they? Mega, you gave two answers. So which one should I consider? The last one or the first one? What is they here? Yes. Mega, yes. Sajina, you are also long here. Nidhi, you are also wrong. Aisha, you're half correct. So the first thing I was asking is the question was they love us. So now leave the us part. Can you quickly tell me what is they love? They love. Else is they or else is they. Both are they. Amreen, can you check the spelling for Ame? Yes, this is correct. Sajina, you're absolutely correct. Amreen, can you identify what is the mistake you have made there? There is no S. Okay.
I shouldn't be using yes here. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So they is else or else. Both are correct. I think Nidhi was using else. Both of them are correct. But remember, Nidhi, whenever we don't define uh, if it is male or female, it's better to use a, a else. Okay, Nidhi? So it is else and then amo, that is they love. Now it is correct. They love. Everyone got it? They love. They love is else amo. Now tell me, what is this? The one which is the one which I'm showing on the board. Me is Me is no. I will be a personal pronoun. I is J. What is Me here? Me, correct. What is TE? You. L. LE. LE is Sajina, no, wrong. LE is Mega, it could be he or her. Him or her actually. So now what will be nu? It is first person plural. Yes, Amrin, you're correct now. We. Yes, Nidhi, you're also correct. So now the answer would be what? Now that you know they love is else amo, and then now you know what is we. We is nu. So it will be else amo nu. But remember, Amreen, always the pronoun comes before the verb. So it is else nu amo. Yes, Sajina, you are correct. So the answer is else nu amo is they love us. They us love. They love us. Now, are you comfortable doing this? Can I give you another one? We are already like 10, 15 minutes up, 20 minutes up actually. So a quick one, a very easy one is he loves her. First try to give me an answer for he loves. Yes, perfect. Yes, yes, you're correct. Nidhi, Sajina, you're correct. Now go to the next level, that is her. So he, no, Aisha, wrong. Amreen, you are half correct. You're almost there, but just quickly check. There is one small, a very small mistake. Mega, you are wrong. Check again why it is wrong. Amreen is almost there. No, 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 no. Amreen, this is wrong. Yes, I got the right answer now. It is yes, Mega, yes. Now it's correct. Amreen, if you check, the first thing is you did is it is not the full word LA. La is correct, but since the verb is starting with a vowel, it is L apostrophe. Yes. So it is il amo. Il aim, sorry. Il is he, aim is love. Now her becomes la. La becomes her. But since ame, the verb is starting with a vowel, it is L apostrophe. So the answer is il aim. That is he love her. Okay. Now the last one, she loves her or she loves him. A quick one. I'll give you like 30 seconds for this. He loves him. We're almost there. The last part. He loves him.